The wheat is being separated from the chaff. The useful is being separated from the useless. The higher vibrational frequencies are being separated from the lower density frequencies, lost and trapped within the digital matrix of harmonic universe number one. Those individuals, those Terrans, those still trapped within organized religion and separation consciousness are being left behind as we, the ascendant metahumans, are rising. However, we must not forget our brothers and sisters in the lower densities. We must not forget our brothers and sisters of the lower consciousness. It is my belief, it is my contention, it is my God job, it is my mission to provide a light into darkness, to help people break free from religious enslavement and gain Christ's consciousness by questioning their beliefs and treating everything in the universe with respect and dignity. Respect and dignity, everything in the universe. And it begins with yourself. And as the wheat is being separated from the chaff, essentially what is happening, like is calling to like, birds of a feather flocking together, finding souls of their own amongst all kinds of hostile conditions and circumstances, as this old paradigm finally dissolves. And the new paradigm, the new earth, the golden age divine timeline firmly anchors into the 5D higher frequency reality. But we are still in that precarious period of transition amongst all kinds of hostile conditions and circumstances. And what many people understand as spiritual survival systems, it is more commonly referred to as magic, miracles, but I wish to provide a science of miracles, a science of magic, or at least my interpretation. And perhaps there are those who are able to resonate with my level of understanding. There's many better videos on YouTube. There's many more realized practitioners of this path. However, I believe that I present a perfect presentation of someone who has been firmly ensconced in the old paradigm. In fact, I grew up under that paradigm. I'm 54 years of age. So it wasn't until September 24th of 2021 where I had my ascension, where my Kundalini activation took place. My crown chakra was activated, and I was connected to intelligent infinity, to source. And it has been my steady guide since that time. However, a lot of my life was lived under the old paradigm. So perhaps my presentation resonates with those who are kind of understanding that the world is changing, and I provide a sort of context of letting go of the old and embracing the new. Because in fact, I'm still embracing the new. I'm still assimilating this understanding, this awareness, this knowledge. And I understand it as the divine working miracles or magic in my life, the science of miracles. And it is true, though, that the idea of magical control or experiencing miracles in one's life is laughed at, it's ridiculed, it's certainly has become debased, certainly has become incredulous or not supported over the centuries. And the forceful, though, exclusivity claims of mainstream religions, of basically mainstream religions, organized religions, they have played a major role in this matter of this disempowerment of the masses, the peoples, of magical control, of miraculous control over your own life. And organized religion, mainstream religions, though it appears the term miracle was actually substituted for the word magical. And the former mainstream religions is said to be a manifestation from the realms of glory provided by organized religions, while anything associated with magical control has been understood as of the devil or a regurgitation of the infernal diabolical. But mainstream religion, organized religion, has capitalized upon the individual's ability to create their own reality. They have made it into the preacher, the pastor, the pope, creating the reality for you if you followed their formula, which turned out that they knew they could make a lot of money from these miracles, which just really is just a rebranding of what you could do for yourself through ritual magic, through the science of magic, through the science of miracles. And as far as I am concerned, there is no real difference between religious worship and ceremonial magic, of the science of the God force and the execution of the realization, the manifestation of the God force in your life. And it is absolutely clear to me that we create our personal realities in accordance with what we buy into, what we believe mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. All of that can be simply understood as the quantum observer effect, that our consciousness, that the awareness is that powerful, that it changes reality to conform to your intention, to the energy of your intention. So, in my estimation, both religious worship, which is passive exoteric magic, because you're allowing the priest or the pope or the pastor to perform a ritual in front of you up on the stage, certainly in the Catholic Church where you're watching a priest go through all of the communion and all of that. That's what I consider passive exoteric magic. Those are all ceremonies. Those are formulas of incantations. And so the science of the God force, science of miracles, manifesting magic, is what I understand as active esoteric magic, active esoteric science of miracles. And both, however, play their part in the process of our eternal self-creation. Although one path, self-creation, you're giving it over to another, the priest or the preacher of organized religion, and in the path of active esoteric magic, you are taking control of your reality. You are self-empowered, a self-sovereign individual. And it is for this very reason that I find the ridiculous onslaught of a faceless faction of those naysayers of organized religion who remain anonymous, but a faceless faction against the science of the God force and the whole esoteric mysticism understanding of spirituality in general. A little tiresome. I find it annoying. But see, that is what keeps me going in some aspect, on some level of teaching to provide. Because if these people truly did not resonate with my message, they would have moved on. But no, they still become a faceless faction, and they leave the thumb down ratings on the videos that the Om Bond, the New Earth Ashram presents. But see, whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it's still feedback to me that I have engaged my audience, that the science of the God force, the science of the God force teachings has captivated individuals, whether positive or negative. They don't understand that love is the same as hate. It is all a captivating emotion. And as can be expected, the belligerence appears to be getting uglier as the science of the God force, the science of magic, the science of miracles is increasing in popularity. And those control agents of organized religion realize they have finally lost control over the masses. Now, this science of magic, the science of the God force, the science of miracles, and all magical activities in general, generally what happens is it amounts to black magic. All of it. Anything that is self-empowering from the organized religion's perspective is considered black magic or of the devil. But see, that's a mind game. That is religious trauma right there in action. And so essentially, the process of individuation, of self-empowerment, of rising in frequency and taking your own destiny in your hands, the spiritual benefits are essentially what is called black magic by people of organized religion. But I have been admonished that God force, the science of the God force, is pure superstition with no validity whatsoever. Now, if what I believe in and practice is phony and illogical, why bother arguing about it with people? Well, I don't actually, but I do get sidetracked and make videos like this where I feel like I have to address the negative feedback loop. But don't tell me that it is against the will of God. In fact, I suspect it is the very success of this God force, science of God force, these spiritual remedies, those which have successfully impacted and relieved the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual stress of numerous individuals around the globe, which elicit serious discomfort among those who are beginning to feel the loss of power and control over the masses. And one of these fundamentalist religionists, one of these organized religionists admonished me in the name of his particular brand of angry deity, of a controlling, angry God, that what I am publishing, that what I am putting forth in these videos is forbidden by the divine one himself, and that I can expect repercussions of the worst kind from heaven for my actions. How long has this employment of spiritual terrorism to coerce our fellow humankind into obedience and submission been going on? And how long will it still continue? I simply do not trust the dictates of those who inform us on divine will from very skewed personal agendas. Why would we be expected to continue buying into religions which would have us place our faith in a deity who determines our fate with the absolute authority of the worst human dictator? Why? Now, in reference to the teachings and techniques of this amazing tradition that I'm attempting to share, and based on the changes within my own life, the miraculous changes in my own life, its eager clergy and has been hijacked by the control freaks of mainstream religion. Now, in reference to the difference between magic and miracles being but a matter of convention, it is that in any given system, persons know the difference between acts of religion, that is miracles, and those of superstition, namely magic, by reference to the source and standing of the one who does a deed deemed out of the ordinary. The extraordinary deeds of the true God, or the agents thereof, that is, angels or holy persons, are miracles. The extraordinary deeds of a false God with the same qualification are magic. The difference then is social and systemic. The distinction merely a conventional usage of society. It connotes the simple judgment that what my side does is a miracle, and by the way it works, what your side does is magic, whether or not it works. Now, the possibility of communication between systems concerning wonders or unusual events rests upon the distinctions at hand. It is quite clear that in mainstream thinking, it is in order for Moses to have worked his miracles, magic, against the magic miracles of the Egyptian priest. It is equally in order for the patriarch Jacob to have worked the miracles of sympathetic magic on the livestock of Laban, his father-in-law. But it is not in order for you to even understand the process involved, lest of all attempt any such deed. Saying that if you truly are a student of the Bible, you realize all throughout the Old Testament, which is the Torah, and the New Testament, which shows Jesus working miracles and magic over and over again, that magic is completely all through the Bible. And in fact, the Bible is a grimoire of magical power. So, but the usual answer to this question of the control freaks of organized religion is that Moses, Jacob, and all wonder workers, at least those that they approve of, meaning the control freaks of organized religion, were insiders working miracles by divine direction. You do not fall into this category, human sinner. You must learn to do the will of God, and we will tell you what is the will of God. It would appear that the distinction between miracles and magic is but a question of deciding who are insiders and who are outsiders. The boundary between the miracle and the magical disappears the very instant you discover the universal oneness and opt out of the self-veiling, exclusivist, and separatist stance of group egos, which is nothing more what organized religion is. Christianity is a group ego that is against the group ego of Islam or the group ego of any other organized religion. It is all group egos. So, could any of us work magic in our world or in our lives? Well, we're doing it all the time anyway. It is even worked perhaps unwittingly by ruthless businessmen and women, unscrupulous politicians, and mercenary salesmen women who are weaving slogan spells of their very own abracadabra. They magically manipulate the mindset of the masses so as to change reality in conformity with what they perceive and agree is the correct will for the people. Now, what about the will of the people? One may well ask. As a small individual here existing in Austin, Texas, I can indeed question how I might create a magical reality which would benefit both myself and my world, when it appears that the odds are so overwhelmingly stacked against me. Firstly, by expanding my consciousness to such a degree that I fully recognize the one I am. Secondly, by not buying into a status quo reality, which is pandered about as truth. Not buying into the status quo reality of organized religion, even if this reality is statistically proven. And thirdly, by choosing the reality that I would like to have in my world, and then to act on that reality. We need to play the game of as if in the now, meaning we need to step into our own sovereignty. So I have witnessed over and over again miraculous, magical changes in my own life and in the lives of those around me. And this power of the God force, like I said, began, well, essentially in August, during the Lions Gate of August of 2021, I began to receive the generous ray, the fourth ray, the rays of the fourth, of the heart chakra, of during that Lions Gate portal. I had what I believe was a massive star seed awakening download, but it was essentially the activation of my heart chakra, the energies of the fourth ray. And that began exactly on August 11th of 2021. And from that time, August 11th to September 24th of 2021, which culminated in my full Kundalini activation, my life took a massive change from where it was. And I don't want to go into the details of where my life was, but let's just say that I was at the most dangerous and lowest point ever in my life. Ever since then, my life has done nothing but continue to be blessed. While seemingly, though, the reality around me, if you listen to the news and the news reports and what people are generally preoccupied with, has deteriorated, devolved. Now, I have to go into all the particulars of what started happening in 2021 with the virus and all this governmental lockdowns and all that stuff. But essentially, what I saw was that people, the mentality of people became barricaded behind barbed wire. It became barricaded with fears, special security systems, and electronically controlled gates of the mind. War in the Ukraine, mass immigration coming all over the borders. Oh my God, everything's falling apart. The country is rife with violent crime. Check the newspapers, watch the news reports, and read the crime statistics. You're living in a fool's paradise if you think otherwise, that your life is improving while seemingly the reality is deteriorating. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have lived successfully in my fool's paradise since that time, that I have only continued to grow and be blessed. I do not require security gates or high fences, and I have no need for special security systems. I have the God force active in my life. I am protected by angels. The Most High is my fortress. I have no fear of walking through the streets of my country. Though I'm being told that you think you're safe, well, you're in for a surprise. Oh, I've had my surprise. Once I actually experienced it as a double reality. I saw that I am living in the fifth dimension while those people still trapped in the lower harmonic universe number one are in the lower reality. That is the surprise. That is the miracle of the God force. So, yeah, I've witnessed all kinds of people living in fear. I've seen acts of violence take place all around me, right around me, while I was just miraculously blessed and protected. It's like I was invisible. I mean, I've had guns pulled on me, and looking into the eye of the person pulling the gun on me, and the person with the gun stuck in my face asking me, "Am I scared? Are you scared?" And I looked at him and responded, "You are scared. You're the one with the gun. It's your jackpot." Now, I have no clue why I use that term jackpot, but that is what I said before I turned away and walked away in the light. And that is just one event, one instant of being protected by the Almighty, being protected by angels. And all of it simply is being high in your vibration, of being peaceful within inside. And that is the journey, that is the bifurcation of the timelines. And when you embrace that and understand that there are many realities in this world, some quite violent for those who have accepted or bought into them as their only truth, but all realities are self-created within the wholeness of the one. And since they are all temporal, since they are all based within time and space, none of these so-called realities should ever be construed as the absolute truth. So whatever be the game I have chosen to play in this life, cops and robbers is not one of them. Living in fear is not one of them. Hence, I am living in a wonderful, magical country of Texas. I'm living a wonderful, magical life in a magnificent country called Texas, and working the science of magic, working the science of the God force is neither impossible nor a difficult matter when we fully understand that consciousness is just one vast ocean, and thoughts are the waves we make in it. All we need to do is guide the currents of consciousness which circulate through the ocean of awareness we all share, so that everyone benefits because of the modulations we make, of the quantum observations that we make. In one way, it is like a flow of pure energy. Each separate mind that uses it, the God force, is processing it in some way which will affect other minds accepting it. We live in a sea of each other's thoughts. Therefore, wherever you get a collection of specialist minds deliberately working on that consciousness with one accord for some specific reason, you are bound to produce a corresponding result in recipients. Hence, the purpose of ritualized practice as a convenience for coordinating consciousness. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as hitting the subscribe button and leaving this video a thumbs up as we all coalesce together as a method for coordinating consciousness, as we all get on the same ray, the same fourth energy ray, as we rise in our consciousness and we unite as like souls, come together, and we make our own reality collectively under the law of one. And I would like to leave this video with this thought, with this technique. And when I say quantum breathing, of course, I'm referring to the asymmetrical breathing pattern of when you breathe in, you breathe out longer than your in breath, at least 2 seconds longer. And that is how you activate the vagus nerve system, which is the doorway, the stargate to your God mind and thus to the universe. And as you practice your quantum breathing, meditate on these words. Open my eyes so that I may perceive the wonders of your teaching. Open my eyes so that I may perceive the wonders of your teaching. Namaste. Namaskaram.